Did you know you could make a huge variety of desserts right in your air fryer? Well, today I'm going to show you 5 different desserts that are going to satisfy your sweet tooth. Welcome, my name is Kathy, and on this channel I help people actually use their air fryer. When it's hot outside, it's pretty awesome to cook without using your oven. You ready to see these desserts? Let's go. Up first, we're gonna make healthier air fryer beignets. They might not be quite as amazing as what you could find at Disneyland or Disney World, but they're pretty darn close. All right, first you need a 3/4 cup of warm water, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and a tablespoon of yeast. Now I'm using this instant yeast, so I don't have to let this proof. And I'm adding in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter. And I've got 1 egg that I beat up, throw that in there. And lastly, a 1/2 cup of milk. I like how my child wrote on the measuring cup for me. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer for this next part, it's okay. Just use your hands. You just have to work a little bit more, but you can get it done. You just need to get it to the same consistency. So I'm using my dough hook, and I'm just gonna start mixing that up. To be precise, I'm just going to weigh my flour here. It needs about 2.5 to 3 cups of flour, and 1 cup of flour weighs 120 grams. So I'm gonna put about 300 to 360 grams in here. Whoop, there I got 378, so I'll just take a little bit out here. 361, and I'm gonna gradually add this in to my wet mixture. I'll do about a cup first. We'll just kind of let that blend in. We want this first cup of flour to just kind of get incorporated. Just scrape off the sides. All right, now that it's somewhat incorporated, I'm gonna start throwing in some more flour. Just gradually add it so I get a nice dough consistency. This is almost still like a batter, so I do have some more flour I'm gonna add. You just have to remember that if it's more humid, you're gonna need more flour than people that live in a drier climate. Now the secret to delicious, soft, fluffy rolls or any type of bread, make the dough as sticky as you can handle it. You know, it has to be workable still, but obviously this is a little bit too wet. But once you get it to the consistency that you need, you're gonna just let this knead for 5 minutes. And there we go. You can kind of see it's pulling away from the side. Still a little sticky, but definitely workable. So to make it easier to work with, I'm gonna just oil my hands up a little bit. And we're gonna take it out of the bowl, add in a little more flour, just roll it into a nice little ball. Then I'm gonna just grease my bowl, and I'm gonna plop my glorious dough ball right inside of there. And I'm gonna put it over here by this warm window, although it's actually really quite cloudy today. We got lots of forest fire smoke. And I'm gonna cover that with towel and let this rise. All right, it's been a good hour and a half or so, and this is beautiful. We're gonna just punch it down. And I still have my mat from earlier, just gonna make sure that's floured. Turn the dough out. And again, I'm just gonna grease my hands up a little bit to make this easier to work with. Now you can press it down or pull out your little rolling pin. And I'm just gonna roll this out so it's about a 1/2 inch thick. Remember, a 1/2 inch is about the width of your finger. So that's just a great way to gauge your thickness of anything. I love that little tip. And I'm just pressing down to kind of shape it into as much of a rectangle as I possibly can. Now I've got the right thickness, and I'm gonna just cut these, and I just like using a pizza cutter. We're going for diamond shapes here, but, well, I'm not the pro. We'll just do the best we can here. All I know is this dough is beautiful and fluffy and lovely. Okay, we're gonna preheat the air fryer, and I melted about a 1/4 cup of butter here. It might be a little bit more. That is a 1/2 stick of butter. And now we are just gonna get each little piece of dough, dip it into the butter. I have let my butter cool a little bit, and place it right in the air fryer. Ooh, it's hot. Now keep in mind, I did not say these are healthy air fryer beignets. I said they were healthier. Dipping it, trying to keep it in shape here. Just make sure these guys are separated here. Pop it in the air fryer, cooking at 350 for 6 minutes. And I'm gonna hit that shake reminder so I can flip them halfway through. Let's take a peek. Oh my goodness, they're puffing up beautifully. I'm gonna keep them here. I feel like I want them a little bit more brown on the top, so I'm gonna keep them on this side for a few more minutes. Okay, it's been 4 minutes. There's kind of the brownness I like to see. We'll give these a quick little flip. And then I'm gonna add just another minute here to the cook time, which I love. I can do this right as it's cooking. Okay, I just wanna take a peek. Oh yeah, these are ready to go. I'm gonna place these on a baking rack, and then I am gonna just lightly brush them with a little butter. And then traditionally you put beignets in a paper bag with powdered sugar, but I just really like my little duster here, and I'm just gonna do that. It's gonna be a little bit less messy. Oh, it smells so good. All right, son, air fryer beignets. I'm a feeding you, I'm feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how is it?
It's like a donut.
It's like a donut.
Ooh, that's really good.
So I saved my blueberry filling for the blueberry egg rolls, and we're just gonna dip our beignets in them.
It's so good.
That's delightful. Oh wow.
It's so flavorful. It's like, it tastes like a rainbow.
They're kind of like scones. They taste like scones to me. They're delightful.
So good.
Enjoy this one.
I'm gonna keep on eating.
What?
I'm gonna keep on eating them.
You're just gonna keep on eating them. Okay. I've had so many requests to do air fryer hand pies. Well, today I have a delicious recipe I'm so excited to share with you. Okay, I'm moving by my big kitchen window because it's so cloudy out. So dark table it is. This is a really low effort dessert because you just buy pie crusts, you need some cookie cutters, you need some chocolate and marshmallows, and maybe some graham crackers. We all have this on hand during the summer, right? And you're gonna need a 3.5-inch cookie cutter. Now, I love this set. I use them for my donuts and lots of other things, biscuits, but you can just find a big cup or bowl, anything that will cut. You just want about 3.5 inches wide. Unroll your pie crust. Now, these are 9-inch pie crusts, and the goal is to get 7 little cute circles out of each pie crust. Boom, sweet. Of course, you could take these scraps, roll them out, and make up extras if you want. Set those aside and then get your other pie crust done. So first, I'm going to preheat the air fryer to 350 degrees. Then you're gonna place 3 little chocolate squares. Of course, you could use chocolate chips if you don't have a candy bar on hand. But if you can manage to hide them from your kids like I have, then you'll have them. Nobody knows they exist. And I decided this just works better with about 6 marshmallows. I'm gonna use my finger and a little water, and then just put the little top of the hand pie on there and mush the fork in to seal it up. Now it's nice and sealed, and we're just gonna cut cute little slits on the top to vent the inside of our hand pie. Okay, now that my air fryer is preheated, I'm gonna just throw down some parchment paper. These guys are ready to go. I really like using this silicone mat because I can just pick up these little moon pies so easily and just transfer them to wherever I need to go. I can fit 4 of these at a time in my air fryer. You could always make them larger if you want to, of course. And the last thing we need to do before we cook these up is brush them with an egg wash, which is just a beaten egg. And I do like to mix in water. I think it makes it easier to brush the egg wash on the top of my pastries. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot. If you want to include some graham crackers, you can just sprinkle some right on top after you add that egg wash. And if you want them more fine, then use a food processor. But you know, I just use my hands. Okay, then pop these in the air fryer. And now we'll cook these babies at 350 for 6 minutes. Oh, here we go. Look how cute they are. I'm just gonna set these out to let them cool, and then we shall taste test. Okay, we're gonna taste test the air fryer. These are the hand pies, the s'mores hand pies. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Is that brown sugar? No. What is it?
Crumbled up graham cracker. You don't like the crust?
No.
How many kids like pie crust? I don't even know. Still a
good.
winner?
It's very good, yeah.
I've had so much fun using egg roll wrappers. There's so many different ways to use them. I'll link to those recipes down in the video notes below. And today we're gonna use these egg rolls to make a delicious dessert. I'm starting with 2 cups of blueberries. That's about a half a pound. They are in season right now and were on sale at my Kroger store. Also, if you have blueberries that are kind of starting to go bad, this is a great way to use them up because we are going to cook these babies up with a half cup of agave syrup or nectar, whatever you want to call it. And I've actually already added that to my pan here. And I'm adding a tablespoon of cornstarch and a teaspoon of lemon zest. And yes, I'm just going to eyeball it. We'll call that good. And I need a tablespoon of lemon juice. Usually you can get, I believe it depends on your lemon size. A tablespoon's either gonna come from a half of a larger lemon or a single lemon. There we go. Adding that in. And lastly, I'm throwing in 2 tablespoons of water. And then I'm just gonna mix it before I put it on the heat because cornstarch mixes better when it's mixed with cold things, where flour dissolves better when it's mixed with hot things. So we want to keep that liquid cool with the cornstarch first. There, that's looking nice and dissolved. Now we just need to bring it to a boil. I'm gonna pop it on to some medium-high heat. You just want that juice to start thickening up and the blueberries to start breaking down. I don't know about you, but making like homemade pie filling might sound overwhelming, but it's so incredibly easy to do this filling and it makes you feel like Martha Stewart. Okay, the blueberry pie filling smells amazing. It's probably a little runnier than I would prefer, but you know what? I don't care. Now I have found with the air fryer, I can usually get about 7 egg rolls per batch. So I'm gonna take 2 tablespoons of filling and place it on each wrapper. I actually have found it's better to roll each one and fill them as you go. If the filling just sits, it tends to get a little bit too soft on the wrapper. You can use a little water to seal those up and it's gonna be good. So I place them all seam side down. I did use parchment paper because it looks like it'll get a little messy. And I'm gonna lightly spray with some oil, pop them in the air fryer, and we'll cook at 370 and start with 5 minutes. Here's a tip I just remembered for when you have things that are just too runny. A thickener that works super good is xanthan gum, and you just sprinkle it on and cook it through and it thickens so nicely. So I totally should have done that here, but as my children would say, duba. That means whatever. Well, I just remembered I forgot to set the shake reminder to have me flip these, but let's see how they are doing. Let's see. Oh, they're nice and brown. Let's check the other side. Okay, I do want to toast my other side a little bit, so I'm gonna quickly flip these. Ooh, and these are hot little mamas, especially with that filling in there, so I am going to give these a flip with my tongs and not my fingers. You know. All right, there we go. Let's give it about let's try 2 more minutes at 370. Oh, you guys, I just thought of the most amazing dip that would be wonderful with these blueberry egg rolls. I don't have the ingredients for it, so I'll tell you what it is. It's like a 7-ounce jar of the marshmallow cream, and then you mix it with a brick of cream cheese, like 8 ounces that's like softened. Blend those up together. Oh, that's done. Blend those up together, and then add in like a tablespoon of strawberry yogurt or lemon yogurt would be so good. Mix it up. It's a delicious fruit dip that I think would be so good with these egg rolls. So I'll write that recipe for you down below in the video description so you can enjoy it. I'm just gonna dream about it today. And let's take a peek. Oh, it's lovely. It's colorful. Can't wait. I'm gonna just dust these with some powdered sugar to make them look extra beautiful. Whoa. Oh, well, okay, you're jumping in. Hotty. That is good. I was worried it wouldn't be as flavorful because some of the juice had leaked out, but it's actually really tasty. And I do think a cream cheese based dip would be amazing with this, so yeah. Now, I typically like to make things from scratch, but these Annie's cinnamon rolls do wonderfully in the air fryer when I add this little twist to them. The beautiful thing about the air fryer is you won't have to preheat, and it's definitely not gonna take 18 to 20 minutes to bake these. First tip, use air fryer parchment paper for this one. I've got a link to this down in the description box below. Place the parchment paper down and be brave and open up this can. There we go. Then pull each cinnamon roll apart. Fold the 2 ends together and twist. Wash the hands. Get your air fryer basket and just slide these in. Boop. Easy peasy. Pop it in the air fryer. Any of these 4 on my model of my air fryer is gonna remind me to shake. So I'm gonna go for 320, 12 minutes. So I'm flipping these to cook up the other side for the last few minutes. And that one was kind of broken. There we go, we will let that finish up. And for my final trick of the day, use tongs to grab a corner of the parchment paper Slide it on out. This guy just had problems from the get-go. And just drizzle on that icing. Totally cooked through. I get a lot of questions about how to make cake in the air fryer. I have yet successfully done a whole cake. However, I have these molten lava cakes that are amazing to make in the air fryer. Check them out. You need 8 ounces of the baking chocolate. You'll want to go for the bittersweet 60% cacao. Next, you'll need 6 eggs. We're going to split 3 of those. Then a whopping 10 tablespoons of butter, 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and just a 1/2 cup of flour. Optional, some yummy berries, and then you'll need 6 6-ounce ramekins. Now, if you don't have that size, you can totally do 8-ounce ones, or you could even do some silicone muffin liners. You will just bake it for a less amount of time. So we're gonna get a microwave safe bowl and open up our chocolate. Then dice up your butter, throw it in your bowl. So now it's time to microwave this. You can do a double broiler if you want to, if you're fancy like that. I'm not. So I'm using the microwave. We're gonna go about 90 seconds, 30-second increments, and I'm gonna stir it up and let it melt. It's been 1 minute. Of course, all microwaves vary a bit. We'll give this one more whirl. It's looking good. Alrighty, here we go. Looks like 2 minutes was perfect for my microwave. We're gonna throw in our powdered sugar. This is 1.5 cups right there. Here's what's gonna sweeten up that chocolate. Powdered sugar is, better than the regular sugar, just because this will dissolve a lot easier. And let's throw in a 1/2 cup of flour. And you'll see it's getting really thick, like a cookie dough. Now we need just the yolks. There's 1 yolk. Use these egg whites for breakfast or egg white cookies. If you've ever done those, let me know. And I'm just gonna whisk this up a little bit. Just gonna dump this into the batter and mix it in. Now you can see how it's just all separated. We just want to mix it until it's nice and incorporated. And there you can see, thick and fudgy. All the lumps are just about out. And now I'm just gonna spray my little ramekins. And then you'll just fill them about 3/4 full with the batter. And just divide it up. And it's time to pop those in the air fryer. Fit as many as will fit. Just make sure there's a little space between each of them. Manual setting, 400 for 8 to 10 minutes. 8 if you want more of a fudgy center, a little more runny, and go 10 if you want a thicker fudgy center. Ready? And ta-da, they are done. The tops will look a little bit cakey and have some cracks. Go ahead and use some rubber tongs or hot pads to pull these out, or even a clean dish towel. They're very hot. You want them to cool for about 2 minutes outside of the air fryer. And here's how you get them out. You might need to run a butter knife along the edges, but set the serving plate right on top of the ramekin, flip it over, and just lift that out. You'll see there's just a little bit of the cake left, but it looks fantastic. Do you need some more air fryer recipe inspiration? I got you. Check this one out right here. I think you're gonna like this one as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.